Well, it's Wednesday, it's VRS Day, we're at Sebring International in Florida. You're joining me, James Salt, and Tom McMahon in the commentary box for another Evo SR TV live stream. Tom, how are you doing? Good evening.
I'm very well, thank you, Mr. Salt. I'm looking forward to this one. Should be a good evening of racing. We've got a high strength of field today of 4.3k, so really looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. It's I don't know. I felt a bit of a build-up to this one. Track car combo, certainly one that go well together. And this track, well, it's an old airfield I was reading as well. So it's super flat, and anyone that's raced around here also knows that it's super bumpy as well. So this is a strong field as well. I saw we had over 100 odd people registered for this one. Strength of field in this one, Tom. What have we got? I imagine it's quite
4.3k.
4.3k. So wow, yeah, that is high, especially compared to yesterday's race that we did, which was a TCRs, and it certainly wasn't that high. We are watching Josh Thompson head round the penultimate. Oh no, it's the final corner. Sorry. And let's see where he can finish. I mean, this is super close at the top at the moment, so we've got about a minute and a half left. Can Josh Thompson improve on this time that he's got? He's gone P1 with a 56.874, so good for him. Have we got anyone else on track? Any Evo SR drivers? We'll recognise Lewis Bibby down in 12th at the moment. We've got Nico Arvilomi. Yeah, there we go. In P10 at the moment. The grid super tight. If you look at the top 17 cars under a second.
That's
yeah,
that's brilliant. I did a race of these actually earlier in the week, and I managed to put down a 57.5 in very similar track temps. So yeah, that would have put me top 8, I think. We were just speaking off air, but for those not in the know, balance of power this week seems really, really quite evenly split. So you can see we've got BMW, Ferrari, Audi only 0.3 off. Maybe the Mercedes a little bit off the pace of the absolute top guys, but they're there or thereabouts. But you have to say that those top 3 guys have got an iRating of 6,900, 6,000, and 6,800. So you'd expect them to be at the top.
The top indeed. Josh Thompson taking the P1 time there with 56.874. Nicholas Hayes we're seeing late to the party. He's just crossed the line with to get that lap in. Only 5 seconds left when he did that. And Nicholas, I don't think improved. Camillo Pezzoli, no. I mean, they've run out of time now, so we will be gridding up shortly. So let's have a look at that grid. Josh Thompson takes P1 with Aleski Aloma in second. Gerard Heinrichsen in P3. Neto Nascimento in P4. Richard Heinstand in fifth with Laurent Benso in sixth. Seventh and eighth is Christopher Heinemann and Robert Lillman. Ninth and 10th, Alessandro Pigrotti. And Nico Alv, I've already tried that one, didn't get there last time. Lewis Bibby, 12th position, and he is, I'll just have a look at Lewis Bibby's number. So he's number 18, so he's actually out-qualified his seed number as such. Ian Gagnon Renault, there's some great names out there, and ones that really test my ability to pronounce anything. Ashley Finch in 14th, Mike Wagner in 15th, with Michael Kassekert in 16th, Matthias Scotia in 17th. I can't do that one. Carden Bin in 19th. Eric Grove 20th. How many cars have we got? 21. Nicholas Hayes. Cedric Gems 22nd. Sven Drefer in 23rd. And John White 24th. 25th, Robert Kindervater. 26th, Fabriazzo Donoso. Christian Lindroth in 27th and Camillo Pezzoli in 28th. The next race we do, Tom, you're going to do that.
So just as you touched on there, though, Mr. Salt, the top 17 cars were all within a second. So I've got high hopes. I hope we're not building it up too much. I have high hopes that we'll have a great race after the longest formation lap in iRacing, up there with Road America.
I mean, this is going to be what? It's a 1:56 on a quick lap in qualifying. I mean, it's probably going to be a 3-minute lap. So
get the kettle on, come back for the race start.
Yeah. If you're joining us, Giago, I see you've joined us in the chat. Mr. Geed, hello, how you doing? Guys, I think we're in for a really good race tonight. 40 minutes around this. I think it's what we got. So we've got 3.7 miles, 17 corners, all flat. Well, I say all bumpy. There is certainly turn 1 and that last corner, a ton of bumps to contend with. To be honest, I'm just really looking forward to this unfolding and watching the action. And also looking at that top 18 was less than a second. So this could be a fantastic race that we're involved with here. But again, thank you for tuning in. Happy Wednesday. Let us know who you're supporting. Mr. Tesknorki, I support Drunkaleski, number 4. Number 4, Seed. I'm trying to see. Oh, there we go. He's currently in front of Josh Thompson, look. So he's second on the grid alongside Josh Thompson.
In the Ferrari. There we go. Just coming up for any viewers who aren't familiar with the track, probably one of the best overtaking opportunities on the track, the turn 7 hairpin. Alexi making his feelings known, just taking the lead, showing Josh Thompson. Oh, they? No. Yeah, Josh is on pole. I was suddenly getting a little bit confused there.
It was just as the cars was in formation, I guess.
It's really, really good track. That was one of the best overtaking opportunities on the track. This can be, if you get a nice run out of the hairpin down to turn 10, then you're looking at, it can be 2x2, but you're more looking single file and getting yourself kind of set up through the Le Mans section onto the back straight down to Sunset, the final turn, which is so hard to do on your own, let alone making it an overtaking. But it is a chance.
And you've obviously got the run down to turn 1, which Josh Thompson will control when the safety car does disappear. But that run down to turn 1, Tom, that's certainly an opportunity. We often see cars go wide there. We often see, cars on the roof, and then you've got the narrowing of the track into turn 2 as well. That doesn't help things either.
No, and there's different lines that you can take into turn 1. Obviously, that's a little bit dictated by the race start. But for example, I know I take quite a tight apex and hug the barrier on the inside. I know some people take a later apex, start really out wide, fling it in to try and take in a little bit more corner speed, but then that can result in a bit of understeer and going into an off track. And here we go.
Here we go indeed. Sit back, ladies and gentlemen, because I think we're in for a treat here. We're heading down this, is it Nolman Straight, I think it's called, this one?
That is sensational track knowledge.
Is it? Is it actually called that? I know.
Well, this is
Ullman Straight. Ullman, not Nolman. Ullman Straight. As we watch the safety car lead these cars into the final corner. I've got Josh Thompson in the, it's actually Thrustmaster Mivano Racing, but I think that's Chill Blast, isn't it? Anyway,
Green flag, green flag.
It looks like Josh Thompson has put the foot down as he leads the cars over the start-finish line, and he's getting a bit of a gap already, so he's certainly got the jump on Eloma, and Hendrickson is hoping to second temporarily as we have cars 2x2 into that first corner. Clean so far. Oh, we've had
That's Bibby.
and Bibby has flipped as Josh Thompson still has that gap, and for the top 10 you could say is clean for the time being. But yeah, we saw Bibby contact at the back there.
We'll come back. We've got the P3 is off, so that's going to have a concertina effect going down into the turn 7 hairpin. It might even have been Alexei. We're going to hop on board with him. Oh, down, making a late braking manoeuvre. Audi's pushing the BMW wide. There could be contact here. Leave the space, guys. We've got 20 laps to go. There's contact again.
Aleski, and I'm not sure who that was in that Audi. Was it Heimstand?
It might have been.
Yeah.
Look at the gap P1 and 2 have got already. This is going to get messy going into turn 10.
Cleanly does it, surprisingly, but we've still got cars 2x2 all around the track.
Trying to keep up with it all. We've got the number 6 car making moves. Einstein going back to Mark Matten, who's going into the Le Mans section. Now still having a look on the inside. That's not really an overtaking place, but they're still making it go 2x2 wide. Going wide through Le Mans onto the back straight. And there's already over a 2.3 second gap. We've also got, I think, is that Laurent Bento? Yes, it is under attack from Alexei. Into Sunset they go, side by side, make that move stick.
Hugging that inside line, and he looks like he's made that stick. Unless Benso does get a good exit in that Audi and he can challenge into turn 1. So Josh Thompson over the line, followed by Gerard Hendrickson, Robert Lillman in third place, as we head around the turn 1. Quick left-hander onto this straight. Technically turn 2. I think this is turn 2 here, in fact. So watch Aleski.
Had a crash. We will go back and try and find that incident with Bibby at the beginning, but there's so much action going on that we're just going to stay up to date with the live action. Looking down the grid, we have Ian hot on the back of Mark Matten. Michael's making a move. Or being passed, I should say. Oh, the car is inside.
And who have we got on the inside here? We've got Caden Bin, I believe, he's up 6 places already, so he certainly benefited from that opening lap. A little bit of chaos that we had in turn 2.
Robert Lullen is up 5 places from 8th on the grid up to 5th. He's 21st ranked in the lobby, the 21 car. Great start. Looking down the order, there's still not many gaps appearing other than at the front, and Josh is making a little bit of a break from Gerard, gap nearly up to a second. We've got a slow down there for Alexei. His race is going from bad to worse because that is going to be absolutely brutal. He's cut too much of the right-hander in Le Mans and is just getting past and is down to 9th. Could be down to 10th because it's just not going. It's 10th and he fits in. There we go. So he's got some work to do. Just again, a little bit of inside information. We're looking and expecting about 20 laps, and his slowdown still hasn't gone. This is so painful. Oh dearie me.
And slowdowns are quite easy to get, especially when you're in the heat of the moment and racing hard. As we see 4 cars, 2x2. Someone flashing the lights at the back. Don't know who that is, but Carden Bean at the front of this well, it's 5 cars, isn't it? So we're going through this sort of technical section, opening the car up into this long right-hander, heading down towards a hairpin. I don't think he's going to be under any pressure there for that move. But further back, is this Aleski? Is he defending? Is he? Oh, so we've got some late braking there going on by Finch. Aleski opening the car. The track narrows there incredibly as well, so it's... Oh, we've got contact further back. These cars are glued to each other. Not sure who that was. Was that Nicholas Hayes?
No, it wasn't. They're falling even further back.
Is that Aleski as well? Just that I saw sort of front of these.
Alexi is down, I should say. He's up to 14th, so he was under attack. He's a little bit further up the track, getting hassled and harried by Ashley Finch. Quick update on Lewis Bibby is
out of the race.
Out of the race.
He's out of the race. Yeah. I mean, when we get a quiet spell, if we ever do in this race, it'd be good to have a look at that. If not, we'll certainly have a look at the end. Nico's had a good race so far. He's up one position, holding tight in 9th position, heading down this Nullman Straight to complete yet another lap. So this is going to be completing of lap 3 with Josh Thompson, with Heinrichsen not too far behind at 1.2 seconds, make that 1.1. So they are, whether Josh had a slight mistake, or was that always the gap, Tom? Were they always that close? I know they've got 4 seconds, haven't they, too?
About a second apart, but we now look at Christopher Hyman going round the outside into turn 1. Not going to make that stick. Good defensive driving from Lauren Benso. We've got so much action going on. We've got Mark Matten defending from Richard Heisland, who's down 3 spots, so we know he's got a bit more pace to give. Eric Grover's crashed in the background from 24th position. Again, we'll try and catch up with all of these, but there's so much action going on.
Let's see some relatives, bottom right. Can we come and make them appear magically? There we go. So we've got Benso, Heinemann, Matten and Heidstand all battling for that 5th position. And
Caden Bin under attack. We've also got in that little group up ahead in the battle for 7th, 8th, 9th. We've also got some very close action from Ian. Is all over the show, and he's got Alessandro breaking.
That's late.
Good move.
Well, he made that stop.
Yeah, got on the anchors, made it stop. Good pass. Getting a little bit behind us. In again for the battle for 10th, Michael Casicert. Over the back of. No, he is under attack from Caden, I should say. Sorry, the relatives are so close and we're still getting used to the software, so bear with me.
And actually, it's Alomar in 14th, down 12 positions, so if he's carrying any damage, then that's something to look out for, but you would assume he's probably got some good pace as well. Is that a car taking another slowdown further back?
I think it is. It's the
And we've got a spinner at the very back as well in the Z4.
And we've got someone going up the inside. I think that might have been Nico on Ian as well. Alexi's going to look to get some good drive out of Sunset. Let's see. I don't think in all of that, maybe it's got a little bit of damage on the left-hand front side. Mike Wagner has crashed again. He's what he can. Getting a good drop.
As we had some contact, didn't he, with the wall there, which has given the opportunity to Aleski, and he's certainly going to take it. Yeah, I mean, he's slotted back in, but you've got to wonder whether he's got any damage after hitting that wall on the inside.
And that's the danger of taking that inside line. If you turn in too early and you're committed to it, it's so hard to steer out of the left-hander because it just drifts you wide.
I won't lie, I have hit that inside wall myself.
I think if you haven't hit that wall, that in practice you need to be asking questions of yourself.
Yeah. As the cars head out of the hairpin through what is effectively 2 straight-lined corners, heading down to the right-hander. And if you look at the track map, these cars all very much still in it, as we're watching another side-by-side battle a few cars ahead, which I think is Ian Gagnon-Renault, holding that inside line. Can he make it stick? This must be 2 by 2. Oh, he's got in front and put the anchors out on that one. He's made it stick, and that's now putting more pressure on. Who are we watching?
Well, now Michael is side by side with Nico, and he's trying to go round the outside. He's got to leave the space. Michael down the inside.
Le Mans onto the Ullman Straight. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be 3 cars wide, potentially. I heard a bit of lifting there. Who's going to brake first? Who's going to brake last? And that looks like, is that Finch down the inside?
Finch like Aidan Finch trying to get a run. And then we've got Nico in the yellow BMW. Alexi's now moving up. He was 14th at the beginning of that. He is now up to 10th. Back to TV, can we go? They're going nearly 3 wide and 4 wide. Caden Bin trying to get a run.
Oh, someone's
very wide. Manages to hold it. It's good. Oh, a little bit of contact. Lots of contact. Caden Bin, they all get through. There's been a crash. I think everyone has got through.
Fabrizio Donoso.
Yes, but I think.
Or was that a while back?
No, that is live. So there's.
Is this on his own or just going?
I think he's going to.
What are we seeing? Oh, okay, yeah.
The white car, the white BMW that has spun.
Ah, that's a shame.
And has turtled him, just left him for dead.
It's on his back, nowhere to go, other than to the pits. Alessandro Pighitori, having starting 9th, still 9th. So he's clinging on to that. A name that we've not necessarily said all that much, which for us is probably a good thing. Well, for him it's a good thing, 'cause it means he's been out of trouble. So a quieter race for Alessandro. I think we did see him making a pass earlier on. Josh Thompson, no threat to him. He's got that 2.3 second gap now. And we've still got Hendrickson in second, with Lullman in third, quite a bit further back. And then, is it Nito Nascimento in 4th position, which I think is actually a little bit closer.
Yes. Let's just have a look at those. Get the intervals up for you to see where all the battles are on track. Also have a look at the last lap time. So 57.4 for Thompson, 2:57.6s, 57.6. Benso and Hyman in the 58s. And this is Hyman down the inside. And that is a pass. Benso didn't really fight it too hard, but he's going to get a nice run. Is he going to have a go into turn 3? No. I think he thinks Hyman might have a little bit more pace. And so he's going to try and use the toe to get dragged along and not lose too much time fighting.
We're having a few off tracks as well at the moment. Ashley Finch went off track. Ashley, he's had a few off tracks, is Ashley Finch. Where's Ashley running? I presume he's further down. He is down in 21st. And Aleski Aloma, that has dropped 10 positions from second, if you remember. I think it was Aleski, wasn't it, on the second row? Second position alongside Josh Thompson at the start.
Yeah, it was that slowdown that he had a bit of argy-bargy at the beginning, and then just...
It ruined his sort of, opening sector, but
yeah.
I mean, the good thing with this VRS sprint, you've got the pit stop, so if you're battling hard and your lap times are slow, then certainly one thing to consider as that pit window opens, which is probably not too far away now, around.
It's about, in the Mercedes, my crew chief told me 19 minutes into the race.
19 minutes, okay.
So just about halfway, and then you can come in and fill up. Looking for some battles. Christopher has, Laurent, sorry, I should say, hasn't let Christopher get away. He's still 3/10 away. Let's go to Michael Cassacurt, and he is right on the back of Ian Gagnon-Renault, and Alexi is closing them down. This looks like he's getting a nice little slipstream. Ian's gone defensive.
Let's watch this one. This is into that final corner. And the BMW, Michael Cassert's piloting, will surely get a good exit. And this BMW in a straight line is, well, it's certainly as quick, but I think it's quicker than the Mercedes. What do you think, Tom?
Yes, for top end speed, it is, and he's going down the inside.
Let's have a look.
But yes, coming back to your original point, yes, I would say the BMW is the fastest in a straight line, at least in Bathurst trim.
Well, this is good to see as well, because you've got the Mercedes that Ian's piloting, with the BMW and the Ferrari of Aleski not too far behind. So 3 manufacturers demonstrating the balance of performance round here is clearly, well, they've got it right.
Absolutely, and yes, Alexi is carrying some damage. That left front is definitely crumpled, and that will only be hindering him on the straights. And you saw there, he got a really nice run off the corner, but just couldn't get anywhere near him.
Was it Gagnon and Renault also went a little bit deeper? So that
yes,
allowed...
a little bit.
Yeah.
But not the Mercedes. It has some. It's the torque of the Mercedes can get it off the corners really, really nicely. It just lacks that little bit of top end, which is where the Beamer comes into it. So these straights, while they're long, they're not so long that I think it becomes a hindrance on the Mercedes, but it is a little bit heavier through that infield section.
Let's have a look if we can. TV2 and 3 are often a little bit closer to the cars. We'll try them. We can. I'm not sure if 3's even closer. I don't know. But anyway, I often think some of the iRacing cameras are a little bit further away than I like. But anyway, so this is coming to complete lap 8 as we see the battle for what is effectively 10th, because Picatore is actually showing on the relative, but he's actually 2.3 up the road, 2.9, sorry. As we watch Michael Kasek in the BMW getting a better exit out of there and gonna
go defensive.
Yeah, but I mean you can take it round an outside line if you're brave, if you've got the courage. Is he gonna? Oh, this is gonna be close.
Lexi's coming
and
hot as well.
Yeah, that's allowed Oleski to bunch right up and challenge for this P10 position.
And
we've got a spinner.
Alexi's got more contact. It was always inevitable. Turns 3, 4, and 5. They do pinch, some pinch points on this track, and that was almost inevitable. And with Alexi's luck of this,
yeah, I was going to say it's not his race, is it? This one is.
I did not mean to click that. Sorry, viewers.
There we go.
That was just I went to click an off track, but it was Caden Bin is the notification that has come into the pit. So potentially, pit window could be open. So it's something that we'll watch out for.
So who are we on board with? Laurent Benso in 6th position with Matten pushing him around this circuit by the looks of it. In the Audi.
So it's Christopher who got in front of Lauren, but then Lauren has not let him go at all and is actually showing a really good turn of pace. The person I'm really impressed with is Robert Lullum up in 3rd. Lap time last time around was quicker than P2. Yeah, having a really, really solid race. But back to the action right in front of us. Lauren in the Audi. Listen to, does he lift?
He did temporarily, you could say, but it was timed. Well, you could argue that was just the time to lift and brake.
Yeah, it wasn't a fuel-saving lift.
No.
But he's on the back. He's under 3/10. I don't think that straight's long enough, or the Audi having enough power to really capitalise. So we really quick in the infield section, but especially when it's the lead car for evenly matched drivers, it does get a little bit swallowed up. The Toad does help the faster cars in a straight line anyway really catch up.
Martin in 7th, up 4 places, not too far behind, so he's what, 1.5, 1.6. So he'll be watching these guys. I'm hoping that they have some contact, but for our sake, we hope they keep racing and race fair.
Keep racing, keep it clean. Mark was actually 2/10 quicker on the last lap, so he's got enough there to keep interested, and he's dragging Richard and Alessandro Picatore along with him, so it could turn into a 5-car fight for P5, which would be nice. Battle for the podium is definitely not over. Here we have Nito in the Ferrari, also with a cracking picture.
A cracking picture indeed. I think he's the only driver, is he, with a photograph that we've seen so far. And if you do want to add your photograph, folks, SDK Gaming /driver profiles, I think is the website link that you'll need. And I still need to do that myself. Have you done that yet, Tom?
No.
No, me neither. Tiago, I know you are watching and you were trying that out. Let us know if you did indeed get that working. We've got someone taking a slowdown. Or was that a back marker? On the,
it could have been. I've got no one dropping on my relative. We do have, though, this battle for P10 at it again. And it's Michael versus Ian. Oh, that's
defensive driving.
A bit naughty, and he's maybe outbroken himself? No. That seemed like Ian moved slightly later, as in a reactive move, as opposed to just taking up a defensive line, which, while not illegal, I get very heated in the cockpit if someone does that to me. So
yeah,
that won't have endeared. And
although
he's then let him through.
And Oleski's now having a real, well, he's having a look, isn't he? But this is close. Oh, this is going to end badly, I'm sure. And that was contact on the back of that Z4, wasn't it?
That was a nudge. That was definitely a nudge. I'll try and
it's gone wide.
Michael way off. That was Ian, wasn't it? If I can quickly get this. That looks like he gave him a friendly nudge off into go wide, a kind of a bump and run TCR tactic from Ian. So some aggressive defending, but he wants his P10. He's on to gain quite a fair chunk of iRacing, is he? He won't know that unless he's running a fancy overlay while racing, but he's up from P13. He wants this P10, so he's going to do everything he can to hold on to it. Back to the front, just as a little check-in. Josh Thompson, 3.4 seconds clear, lapping about a tenth of a lap quicker. Lauren Benzo is still all over the back of Christopher Heinemann. And he's going to get a really nice run out of here. And
it's this battle for 6th, isn't it? Battle for 6th and a battle for 10th. 10th being about 6 or 7 cars involved with that one, and 4 or 5 cars involved with this battle for 6th position as we head into the final corner. And so keeping it clean, focusing on the exit more than anything, but this is 3 or 4 laps now, if not more, that we've seen these two trading quicker lap times, but not necessarily making moves.
No, it's the amount of speed, even in these GT3 cars, that you can take into Sunset and the first corner. It does blow your mind how late, if you get it right and you get the car braking in a straight line, and you've got a stable car underneath you, they're 2 epic corners. On the whole iRacing calendar, they are sensational, and it's great to watch these guys racing so closely and carrying huge amounts of speed and commitment. Just looking ahead, Nito is catching Robert Lulham slightly. I feel like Lauren has got better pace. If they were in free air, I feel Lauren would have the legs on Christopher. Which is where all the pit stops could come in. We've got a few more in the pits. Michael, who was in the BMW that we saw getting that little nudge, he's come into the pits and left. Fabrizio Donoso from 18th, he's come into the pits. So pit stops are starting to happen. I know you can run to about 12-10 minutes if you're careful on your fuel till the race ends, in terms of when the last time you can make your pit stop before you run out of fuel. So we're definitely in the pit window, so it's something that we will keep an eye out for. Alexi is now the next driver to have a go at the immovable object. This is Ian, Canadian Ian.
And Fabrizio Donoso, he's the F1 esports driver. Or one of the F1 esports drivers.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, it was a name that I recognised, and I know Marcel Kiefer also races this series. But yeah, Fabrizio Donoso is an F1 esports driver, which is good that he's on iRacing, and yeah, we can all have a go at challenging him. Alessi's had an eventful race, judging by the state of his car as well. It's certainly seen better days, but he is still managing to put on the pressure, and hopefully he can get this 10th position. If you were him, I don't know if it'd be worthwhile coming in the pits if you're at this stage now. As we head through turn 1, at lap 13, so we're 24 minutes into this 40-minute race, and we will now start seeing quite a few of the folks. Fabrizio Donoso enters the pits, as well as Michael Kesserk. He's also entered the pits, so the pit window is definitely open now, guys.
And it's just how close Alexi was getting. He's surely going to have a move down the inside. Oh, later on the brakes is Ian.
He's going to be suffering surely with the damaged straight line speed. So even if he did get past, surely he's just a sitting duck when it gets to the long back straights, etc.
think he would need to time it correctly.
Yeah.
He could have a look here that if he can then create a gap through the infield section, but I know exactly what you mean, Mr. Stolt, that yeah, if he passes him any time near a straight, Ian will just blow back past him, especially then using a bit of slipstream as well.
And how the guys behind you, let's have a look for lap times, which is like Nicholas Hayes, etc., because they're also keeping tabs. Yeah,
they're closing in. They were three or 4 tenths quicker last time around. Lauren Benzo's still only 2 tenths, but I have a feeling if we get a good run from Alexi and they were going to go wide through Le Mans onto the back straight, don't get a slowdown because you've already got one of those. And away goes Ian. And Alexi is simply too far back.
Yeah, and he just cannot close, can he? He cannot get there with that damage. If anything, it's allowing the guys behind to close up even more. Someone was having a look there. Mark Matten into the pits from P7.
And so we'll keep an eye, because this is obviously, it's really important. Your entry to the pits, the actual pit stop, the spot on your marks, exit the pits, because he was only about a second behind Lauren and Christopher in P5 and 6. So if he gets this right and gets some clear air, he could be challenging for P5 and 6. So something to just keep an eye out for. We're going to go back to Lauren, who is still hassling. Richard Heinstand has crashed.
Oh, it's a turn 1.
Turn 1, and
oh, that car's crabbing. He needs to retire. Turn 1. Did he get a bit on the sand, on the grass, on corner exit? He was a bit wide on turning, wasn't he?
Oh, it's an Audi doing Audi things.
I was going to say, that is the Audi all over. So where did Mark Matten come out? Just having a look. He was in 7th, wasn't he? But looking at the...
he's got 8 seconds in front of him, so he does have clear air.
The majority of the field went past, I think, by the looks of the track map when he came out of the pits. Christopher Hyman. So we're keeping an eye on these, and we're expecting Mark Matten to sort of, well, hopefully for his sake, fall in or around them.
Yes, and obviously we had Michael Kasika, who was fighting Ian, so that's the other one. He's already come into the pit, so that's another one to kind of keep an eye out for. We'll see if Christopher and Lauren come in this lap. Josh Thompson from the lead is in, so I think this could be the last lap because Gerard's in.
Also, yeah, P1 and P2 in the pits.
They're all coming in. Robert Lulham's into the pits. Is Nito?
Oh, Nito's gone through, hasn't he? So temporary leader as these guys. So the person to watch here.
He's just Lauren just went round him.
Can you have a quick look at that?
Where?
That's Josh Thompson. Still Josh Thompson. Still Josh Thompson. Josh Thompson!
He just goes round him.
Oh, fair play. I mean, it's legal.
That's why you practice your pit entries. We're going to keep an eye out here for
Mark
this man.
Matten. Yeah, on the final corner, exit onto. I think he's going to get the run because the pit exit is a little bit compromised, and you've got to be looking left at this point. Where is Mark? Oh, he's still a little bit behind, isn't he?
Yeah.
Lauren, the big benefactor of that was Lauren, wasn't it? But saying that, Heinemann and Lauren are still still locked in battle.
And quite a big move actually is Michael has jumped Ian and Alexi. So even though he got pushed off and was doing some rallycross and then had another off track of his own little adventures, by coming in, getting some free air and running quicker than Ian could, because Alexi was obviously bottled up behind. And that's Pigatori off the track, outbroken himself, and that has cost him not a position, but it's cost him time to let Michael catch up to the back of him. So a nice little strategy from Michael to then hopefully now chase after P9. Christopher is now playing the hunter role in this hunter versus hunted edition of
that battle for P10. The amount of cars heading into what is this corner here that we're just behind these guys? P10.
Oh no, that's Collier, the one that you were talking about.
Here we go. Yeah, these guys. If you look at the amount of cars here that are all they're a little bit spread out. The track map looks like they are a little bit more bunched than they are. Robert Lullman up 2 positions in 6th position.
We're just the reason I've gone to him is because Nito, who was in P4, was only a second behind. So I'm curious to see if he, who is exiting the pits now, it's going to be close, but Robert's going to have the line and the cones get in the way, so the status quo is maintained. Heading back to Alexi, who's now going to be... Alexi just got past Michael somehow.
Yeah, we've got a few cars in the pits which is playing with the relative box.
But so that was a move, and I'm going to try and find it for us. Here we are. Is that a slowdown? Or has he just got a really good run? I think he just got a good run. I'm surprised. Maybe it was a slowdown for Michael, because he's now right onto the back of him. So I think that Michael got a slowdown through Le Mans. And
yeah, he probably got it into the corners before, the sort of left, right, left.
Yeah.
Oh, left, right, right. Is that it?
Right, left,
There
right.
we go. There we go. I'm driving through it in my own mind.
And that's a little bit wide from Alexi, who's had a really hard race.
Yeah, and he's obviously carrying that damage, isn't he? It's not going to do him any favours with this. With Michael Keska, that we know is quick, demonstrated that.
Just
up 6 positions.
Yeah, and just to highlight how competitive this field is for everyone, Michael is a 5,000 I-rated driver, and he's fighting over 10th. Just to put into perspective the quality that is actually on show, these guys are seriously quick. Alexi in front, obviously, with his damage, is 6,000 I-rated, but here comes Michael with the slipstream.
With no damage, well, very little damage compared to Alesski's. That looks like a done move. Alesski's going to surely have a good exit, but the damage is not going to... Oh, he's actually nipped back in front.
And down to turn 1 they go.
And it's now where the slipstream's really taking effect. Higher speed. Definitely have a look down the inside, wasn't he? But Aleski closed the door.
Just carried
down to turn 2.
Carried some good speed. Ian, the immovable object who was then moved, is now still there in P11, and they were fighting over P. Richard Hindstand obviously crashed, and he was from P7. He crashed on his own, didn't he? So that's why this is now the battle for 9th as opposed to 10th. Alessandro Pigatori making a little break for it. Yes, Lauren was in front of Christopher, wasn't he? Because he jumped him coming into the pits. That was a cracking move, actually. That's the kind of racecraft that we want to see. And this is he's closing really, really quickly. Michael down the inside for turn 10. Alexi's not really going to fight that. He doesn't have the car to fight it. Good move.
I think that was a move that was going to happen sooner or later with the damage again.
He just has to stay as close and try and use the slipstream to get dragged along as to not then just fall back into this pack. That
Gagnon and Renault that were on board with up 2 positions. Clearly a very quick driver, 3,500 I-rating, but I don't know. I feel the other guys around him are quicker for some reason. I don't know. Let's see if he can get a good exit here. Ara Le Mans down the Norman Straight. Obviously, Aloma Aleski has got the tow as well, which might sort of get rid of the damage that he's carrying, or nullify it. Nullify it down Norman Straight. You like that?
See what he did there. That's a little bit wide, but he's going to get a nice drive, and they're just starting to drop Nicholas Hayes, Nico Arvelomi.
He's going to have a look, surely. He's having a look down the inside into turn 1. Can he make it stick? Does Aleski hold it round the outside? He has done. And I think if he closes the door, he has done. That's good. It's good defensive driving.
That was unbelievably close. And
can we get 2 cars through there? Yes, we can. Still side by side.
that's how you do it, boys.
So this is Big Bend. Is that right?
Yeah, turn 6, Big Bend.
Big Bend heading into this right-hand hairpin. Tightest corner on the track coming up.
Called the hairpin.
Called the hairpin. That narrows as well. Super narrow through here.
Which is here.
Nicholas Hayes got a good drive out of there. I think Gagnon Renault was a little bit compromised.
But he's going to have that speed down the straight.
Yeah. So he's under pressure from Hayes behind, so he's got to make a move. And he got it stopped. Good for him.
We've got side-by-side action going on. This is all over P10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. Alexi's just going backwards, and now Nicholas is going to be next in line to have a stab. And all of this racing, look how much Michael has got down the road. 2-second gap in 1 lap from all the fighting that's been going on.
He was quick, but yeah, you're right. I mean, these guys have been battling hard. Like you say, that's allowed him to get away. And now, as I said, 1 lap ago, with Gagnon Renault, bit of a cork in the bottle, despite having 3,500 iRacing. never thought I'd say that.
And here comes Nichols.
Who's having an amazing race, up 9 positions. He's not giving up, is he? He's not giving up, and he's much bumpy around that inside line.
We've got side-by-side action behind. That is Matthias and Nico having a go. Nichols now with a much faster entry into turn 1, but we know Alexi can hang it round, which he's going to try, but Nichols has done it. He's now got the inside for turn 3. And that's...
Aleski's not letting this go. He's not letting it go.
Turn 4, so nearly contact, but they're going to get through turn 5.
This is great driving. This is great. Great stuff. And Aleski's still out in front and got the inside line, so he's in a position to defend now.
And here comes
Matthias Skoga.
Around the outside. Isn't going to get great drive, but he is going to get now the drag up through Fangio, which is turns 8 and 9, which we're going through right now. Matthias is closing in on Nichols. Oh, that's going to be a late move.
That's very late on the brakes. Do they have contact? They don't. They've kept it clean. Again, top split VRS people. We've seen some fantastic racing.
And that's given Alexi just the kind of breathing room he needed just to get away. Just 7, 8 tenths, and that's wide for Nichols again. Having a look further up the field, all the gaps have sort of opened up now.
I mean, this is the battle, isn't it, that we're watching?
Wow, great move, Matthias, down the inside into the Le Mans complex, right, left, right.
This is turn 16.
Good track knowledge.
Run wide onto the Nulman Straits. Nichols Hayes up 8 positions, challenging Matthias. That's 12th position. Both drivers up 5 and 8 places. So yeah, these guys they've got a lot from this race already. But can one of them, Nichols Hayes, get one more? Aleski, like you said, and Gagnon Renault have got away, haven't they?
Yeah,
slightly got away, especially the Mercedes of Gagnon Renault. Matthias into turn 1.
That is
side by side as we're watching again.
John White making a move to get past Nico. So John White's up 10 spots, up 10 from 24th on the grid to 14th. So great drive from him.
We've got Fabrizio Donoso, the F1 esports driver, has crashed not that long ago by the looks of it, according to the activity board, and this is going to be a crash, I presume, all on his own, unless we see a car magically
he's going to spin. He's lost the rear. He's carried too much speed. And he can keep going. Luckily, that's tyres. But
he's
did
crabbing.
Go into the pits.
Is he crabbing? Yeah.
Moving on.
He's actually out in 20th position. Sven Dreer. We're looking at then. Laurent Benso down
Lauren? Yes, sorry, we didn't see this. Lauren went off and is now down.
Oh. Oh, that's big.
Oh, dearie me.
Well, they kept it out of that, of the other the tyres in front of him by moving left slightly. He actually bounced off.
He got. I think Christopher is going to have something to answer to there. We'll have a look at that one. That's an event for after
Yeah, we'll have
the
a look
race
at that
to look
one.
at.
What do we got here? Laurent Benso again. Been challenged. I thought Laurent got a. Well,
He
Laurent
did
get away, didn't he?
But now Michael has overtaken him, so he's up to 8th, and Ian and Alexia chasing after. Nico is right on the back of John White, fighting over that 14th and 15th place. Lauren must have some damage. It was a big impact that he took there into the tyres. But unbelievably, this is last lap.
I was just going to say, Josh Thompson of the Isle of Man, coming up to, well, not to complete his lap, he's about halfway through his final lap. He's not been challenged at all, really. He's led from the start. We've not really seen much of him because, to be honest, it's been a bit of procession for him. He's just, like we said, led from the start. Behind him, Hendrickson also had a similar race. Never been able to challenge Josh, really. Talking of challenges, we've got about 7 cars on the last lap.
They're lining up for Lauren's P9 because obviously Lauren's carrying some serious damage. We'll keep an eye on the sector gaps, and I'll keep an eye on the track map as Josh comes towards the line. But
this is going to be out of Le Mans onto that Norman Straight, and this is going to be a run down into that final corner, I'd imagine, unless someone's brave enough to make it through Le Mans. Josh Thompson, we've just mentioned him. That's been a fantastic victory for him. He's going to gain 45. That's going to get him almost to 7,000 iRating. Josh Thompson of the Isle of Man for Williams. I think it's Chill Blast esports team. Laurent Benso with Ian Gagnon-Renault in the Mercedes. This should be a relatively easy pass, but Laurent's clearly going to defend this like his life depends on it. It's the last corner, the last lap, and he's got about 5 or 6 cars directly behind him. He's let one go, but can he defend this one? This is on board with Oleski, wasn't it? Oh, Oleski's gone wide. He's had contact. And that's allowed Matthias Skoga up 6 positions at this point. And Oleski's race. He's going to reverse over the line. Is he going to? He's going to reverse over the line. Where's he going? I mean, this. Well, there you go. Oh my God. Down 16 positions and finishes 18th. Oh, what
backwards over the line.
Oh, we need to watch that one again. Whether I feel sorry for Oleski. I feel like he's been bullied from everything, from his second position, from that last corner challenge that we saw, spun around, and oh man, yeah. I mean, to be fair to him, or to be fair to everyone, it was him that tried it round the outside, and yeah, that's how the result ended. But yeah, that was good. That was well. I'm glad it ended like that. That was entertaining. Good race, Tom.
A brilliant race, really, really good. Shame that it all got a bit disjointed at the start, which obviously let all runners. There was that big gap that opened up between P1, 2, and then 3.
Well, we obviously saw Lewis Bibby in that sort of turn. Was it turn 1, turn 2? Cars flying everywhere. We'll have a look back at that. So the results, Josh Thompson in P1 with Gerard Heinrichsen in second position. Again, the top 2 never really challenged. And Robert Lullman as well was, I don't think we mentioned Robert all that much, which for him is a good thing. Meant he was, sort of away from the rest and quietly bringing it home in third position. Nito Nascimento in fourth position. Christopher Hyman fifth. Mark Matten to get sixth position. And I think, was that? Oh, that's what we watched unfold, wasn't it, Tom? Nito, Christopher Hyman, and Mark Matten.
Yes.
Alessandro Piccitori getting seventh. Michael Cassert in eighth position. Ian Gagnon-Renault, again, a good race from him. His car, I think, was immaculate as well at the end of it, so he's clearly avoided all the commotion there. And Laurent Benso grabs that 10th position. I only reel off the top 10 at the end, otherwise I'll be here all day. or all evening. But I think we've got some good discussion points to have a look at. If we can scroll all the way back to the start, Tom, and find Lewis Bibby, that we know was involved with this opening. So we're on board with Bibby here, are we? That's the car
Yes.
right in the middle. It's the what is it? It's the Mercedes, isn't it? The AMG.
Yes,
So it wasn't turn one, was it? What was it?
The chopper's bouncing around, so let's just
Yeah, bit of
get
turbulence
rid
on
of
the.
that.
Yeah.
Let's go on to his gyro. So this is Lewis. He's going around the outside of turn 1, and he's going to get a tag from, who is that? Mark Matten is going to tag Lewis Bibby, and it's not great. They're making it 3 wide, and at this point, Bibby has nothing. He can't do anything now. Once that's gone, and unfortunately, that's Mike and that will be Bibby steering bent and finished because he hit right onto the wheel, and someone just nips through. Yes, they do.
But I was going to say we saw a car. Is that Mark? Was that no, not Renault? Ian Gagnon Renault that we see spinning there, or was the two of the Is it F4H cars? So that is Bibby flying through the air, isn't it? That we're seeing.
Bibby, yes, has already left the building there.
Who is that? This
Eric in the same
Grove.
livery.
Yeah, that was it. It's same livery. That's why I got confused.
And he's just going to get tagged, and around she goes.
Virtual Vroom Man says tough. Whether you were in that race and you're referring to the race you were just in and that it was indeed tough, or whether it's tough luck to something you just want, I don't know. But it was. I mean, yeah.
Just want to see again as we go through. Chopper actually did a really nice job there. Also, Mark got a flying start. If we watch this, so the green lights are going to go. Mark is going to floor it now.
Yeah, but I think it was a bad start though, wasn't it, from is it Christopher Heinman? No.
Alessandro. And so what we're then going to watch is Bibby's actually going to go around the outside. That changes the complexion.
Yeah. And then he just gets absolutely beaten up and ends up like a turtle on his roof.
I actually would put that down to a racing incident. Bibby clearly wants to make moves. He's just lost a position slightly. He's tried to go all the way around the outside and Mark has just drifted out. Could have, should have left the space. I
mean, it's always brave to go for a move, isn't it?
Yeah.
On lap 1 of turn 1. It's one of those things. If the move's on, then fair enough. You can have a look. But there is risks obviously involved with that, and Lewis Bibby has just shown us what can happen. But of Bibby and the others being taken out, and we saw some cars up, up 11 positions was John White. Who else did we get? We've got Nicholas Hayes, that was up 9 positions. So there's movers and, there's gainers and losers in all of that. I don't know what's next, Tom, for us in terms of streaming. We'll put out a schedule, or we'll announce something soon on this YouTube channel. If you're tuning in, guys, or have tuned in, or you're watching this back, please obviously drop us a subscribe if you can do. That'd be great. Tom, any ideas on next stream? What's interesting this week? We had a chat about Formula 3 series at Brands Hatch.
Formula 3 at Brands Hatch, that would be great fun, I reckon. What else have we got out there? Is it IMSA? IMSA's at Sebring this week, isn't it? As well.
IMSA's at Sebring. Is that an hour long? An hour long race?
Yes, I think in preparation for the Sebring 12 hours.
Yep.
That is obviously coming in 3 weekends' time, maybe 4 weekends' time.
Yep. Yep, so I mean, there's that one. There's Formula 3. Porsche is at Virginia International, if I remember rightly. So probably
Yeah.
not that one. I don't know, but yeah. Well, look, we will end there. It's been a race that we both enjoyed watching, and I hope you guys did as well when you were watching from home, wherever you were, in the office, on the bus, or in an Uber. Why an Uber? I have no idea, but join us again soon. Tom, thank you as always. And we will obviously catch up soon, and we'll put out a schedule for another stream hopefully later this week.
Superb.
Thanks, guys, and see you again.